When I was a little girl, I wanted blue eyes, blonde hair, and pale skin. I didn't like my olive skin or my hair and eyes that were so dark that they looked black. Growing up, I almost never saw characters on TV or in movies who looked like me. I recently realized that the reason why the Latino or Asian characters on TV shows were always my favorites was because they looked like me. Now, I'm sure this must seem obvious to some people, but to me, this realization was a huge breakthrough. This was my experience with representation, and being half Asian and half white. My struggle to find people who represented me was not nearly as difficult as it must have been for some other women of color. Now, obviously, women of color are not the only people who don't get nearly enough representation. Disabled people, transgender people, and plus-size people also all get ridiculously limited to screen time, and that's just to name a few. But as I only have so much time, I will just be discussing representation of women of color today. See, when ABC's hit political drama Scandal began in 2012, the lead actress, Kerry Washington, was the first African American woman to star in a drama since 1974. And in 2014, only 14% of major fashion magazines featured a woman of color on its cover. In 2015, Viola Davis became the first black woman to win an Emmy for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Drama. The Emmys began in 1949, and the first black woman to win for an Outstanding Lead Actress in a Drama won in 2015. And then again in 2015, Emma Stone was cast in the role of a half-Asian character in the movie Aloha. Instead of casting an actual half-Asian or Asian actress, the director cast a clearly white actress to portray this half-Asian character. Many of you might be wondering why this is such a big deal and why I've only decided to focus on only women of color in the media. Well, you see, by not casting women of color in movies or putting them in magazines, young girls of color will eventually begin thinking that they're not beautiful enough. They'll begin to hate themselves, to hide their true selves, all while wishing for lighter skin and lighter eyes and lighter hair. Lack of representation can lead to self-hate, something that obviously is extremely harmful to young girls and even grown women. And this all stems from just one casting decision or one modeling decision that anyone can make.